We live in a world that tells us to chase luxury, fast money, and instant success. But here's the paradox. The harder you chase richness, the more likely you are to stay broke. In today's video, I'll break down why chasing richness keeps you poor into the mindset shift that actually leads to lasting wealth. You see someone who looks rich, and you think, I want that kind of money too. But what you don't realize is they might not actually be as rich as you think. Because here's something we need to understand. Looking rich does not mean you are rich. Now, this is a hard truth, but it's one that can save you from years of financial struggle if you adopt it. And let me tell you, chasing the illusion of richness will keep you poor if you don't watch out. You end up caught in a cycle of never-ending money problems because you're always trying to look rich instead of focusing on building real wealth. And this is a problem because when you chase the illusion of looking rich, you end up making decisions that keep you stuck in poverty. When you start to chase the illusion of richness, you fall into the trap of spending more than you earn, taking on debt to buy luxury items, investing in get-rich-quick schemes, and taking on high-risk trades, just so you can keep up the appearance of being rich. The truth is, looking rich is not the same as being wealthy. Being truly wealthy means having the freedom to do whatever you want whenever you want without worrying about money. But when you're chasing the illusion of richness, you're constantly worried about how you're going to pay for the latest iPhone or designer clothes or the newest luxury car. And that kind of stress is not the kind of life that anyone should aspire to. So why does chasing richness keep you poor? Well, firstly, it makes you overspend. When you're chasing the illusion of richness, you tend to spend more than you should on things like luxury cars, clothes, and gadgets. You want people to think you're rich, so you buy all these expensive things to show off. But the truth is, these things don't make you any richer. They just eat away at your bank account. Secondly, it leads to lifestyle inflation. As your income rises, your spending also increases. You feel like you have more money to spend, so you upgrade your lifestyle and buy more expensive things. But the truth is, this is not a sustainable way to live. You're just trading your future financial freedom for today's luxuries. Next, it causes instability. When you chase the latest trends and fads, you're always trying to keep up with what's popular. But the truth is, trends come and go, and when you chase them, you're never able to build anything that lasts. You're always jumping from one thing to the next, never really building anything solid. Lastly, it increases your stress levels. When you're chasing the illusion of richness, you're constantly worried about how you're going to make enough money to buy the latest and greatest. And that kind of stress is not good for your mental health. In fact, studies have shown that financial stress is one of the biggest causes of anxiety and depression. Let me ask you something. Is it really worth it to be stressed out all the time just to look rich? I don't think so. So what's the solution? Well, first, you need to have a mindset shift. You need to realize that true wealth is not about looking rich. It's about having the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, without worrying about money. It's about having the time and security to enjoy your life without being stressed about finances. Once you have this mindset shift, you need to start focusing on building wealth, not just looking rich. This means investing your money, saving for retirement, building up your skills and knowledge, and creating multiple income streams. These are the things that will actually make you rich. Here's a simple. If you want to look rich, buy things that depreciate. But if you want to be rich, buy things that appreciate. And yes, there's a difference between the two. Let me explain. When you buy things that depreciate, like a luxury car or a designer handbag, you're buying things that lose value over time. A new car, for example, will depreciate by 15 to 20% as soon as you drive it off the lot. That means that the moment you buy the car, you start losing money. On the other hand, when you buy things that appreciate, like stocks, real estate, or a new skill, you're buying things that increase in value over time. Stocks, for example, have historically returned around 10% per year. Real estate prices also tend to increase over time, and the value of a new skill will only grow as you become more proficient at it. So, if you want to look rich, buy things that depreciate. But if you want to be rich, buy things that appreciate. But okay, let's say you don't care about looking rich, and you just want to be rich. How do you do that? Well, there are a few steps you can follow. First, track your expenses. You need to know where your money is going before you can make any changes. Be honest with yourself about your spending habits. Are you spending too much on eating out or on luxury items? Once you have a clear picture of your spending, you can start to make changes. Second, live below your means. This is a classic piece of advice, but it's important for a reason. You should not be spending all of your money just because you have it. You need to save some for the future. That doesn't mean you have to be miserable and not enjoy your life. It just means that you need to be smart with your spending. There's a big difference between being rich and being cheap. Don't confuse the two. Third, invest regularly. Investing is one of the best ways to grow your wealth over time. It may not seem like you're getting rich quickly, but over the long term, investing can make you a lot of money. One easy way to invest is to put a small amount of money into an index fund every month. An index fund is a type of investment that allows you to invest in the stock market without having to pick individual stocks. This can be a great way to start investing because it's relatively low risk and you don't have to spend a lot of time managing your investments. Another option is to contribute to your retirement savings account. If your employer offers a 401k plan, this is a great way to save for retirement and get a tax break at the same time. Fourth, build up an emergency fund. Before you spend money on luxury items, you need to have an emergency fund in place. This is a fund that you use to pay for unexpected expenses, like a car repair or a medical bill. Having an emergency fund will prevent you from going into debt if something unexpected happens. A good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up in your emergency fund. Finally, value financial progress over appearances. This is a hard one, especially in our social media obsessed culture. We're constantly bombarded with images of people who seem to have it all. But you need to remember that those people are often not as rich as they appear. They're just good at marketing themselves. Don't let their fancy cars and designer clothes fool you. Instead, focus on your own financial goals and celebrate your own successes. It may not be as flashy, but it'll be a lot more rewarding in the long run. To wrap it all up, I'll leave you with this. Chasing richness is a never-ending game because no matter how much money you make, there's always someone who has more. But building wealth is a journey that ends at a destination called freedom. It's the kind of freedom that lets you sleep well at night knowing you have enough money to take care of yourself and your loved ones. It's the freedom to pursue your dreams without worrying about money. It's the freedom to say no to things you don't want to do and the freedom to help others without worrying about being taken advantage of. So, which path will you choose? Will you chase the illusion of richness and get stuck in a cycle of poverty? Or will you choose to build wealth and experience the true freedom that comes with it? The choice is yours. But please remember, chasing richness keeps you poor. Building wealth sets you free. Thank you for watching, and until next time.